Hello. So I think I'm starting slowly, but let me find this, and I would like to share it in my group. So just give me a sec, of course. Yes. Mhm. Yes, yes, yes. I think they say that it's done, so it should be. It should be. Okay, anyway, hi guys, Magdalena Vari here, transformational women's coach. I help women live authentically, boost their self confidence, and find their path. And today is Monday, today is new week, and I wanted to talk with you about perfectionism and give you some tips how we can deal with it. Today, actually, I have some new light. Maybe it looks a little bit strange, but it is so dark outside that without this special equipment, probably you couldn't see me at all. Yeah, so I think it's still better. And why perfectionism? Why perfectionism is the topic that I started to be interested in, and especially in this time. I think that we have the 23rd of November today, so we have 1 month to Christmas. And I remember some experience from my house. Yeah, my mother is pedantic, and she is a perfectionist. And I remember such time that when we were preparing a couple of weeks before Christmas, mm, it was really quite nervous and tense time. Yeah, because she was sacrificing for all the family. She was cleaning all this house. And I mean me and my father, we were the culprits. Yeah, so we were making mess, and we were disturbing generally. And I remember that for many years, when Christmas was coming, I had this feeling, oh my gosh, again, it's gonna be a kind of tense atmosphere in the house. And instead of enjoying the time, instead of enjoying this beautiful time of preparing, yeah, uh, we will be again somehow sitting in some box, yeah, because I was just thinking what is the next thing my mother will tell me that she's dissatisfied with. Maybe I haven't cleaned bathroom, as well as I should, or I haven't done something, yeah. So uh, after many many years, because I don't live with my parents about 20 years, I think, even probably more. I realized that now when I'm in my house, this time is completely different. Yeah, this time is it's not so tense, and it's basically calmer. Yeah, because I also remember such situations. Although we always spend Christmas in a very family oriented way, and it was very nice time. But my mother was often tired, yes, and she didn't have, after all this preparation, she didn't actually have the time to really enjoy this Christmas. And why I'm telling you about it, because probably um, this her perfectionism, which I remember, somehow brought me this topic. Yeah, it was one of the reasons why this topic has come to me. And as I've told you already, I have also some traits of being a perfectionist, and I have done quite a lot in order to go out of this trap. Uh, I still have some leftovers, so to say, but I think that I live in a much more relaxed way when I stop being um, so demanding towards myself and towards the others. And today I want to give you some, very practical and I think very simple tips that you can apply in your life, and don't be misled by the simplicity of these tips, because of course not everything that works must be complex. Yeah, sometimes our ego, sometimes our brain things like that if something is too simple it just cannot work, but the truth might be just opposite. Some simple tips are sometimes the best. And of course, I don't encourage you to use all of them. Just choose something, take something, mm, what for you will be the best. Yeah. So first, what is first important? Um, First, it's important that you acknowledge the problem, that you actually admit that yes, this is about me. I am perfectionist, yeah, because of course sometimes there is this thin red line between our being perfectionist and between acknowledging this, because between admitting this. Very often we want to keep ourselves in some kind of illusion. No, it is not my issue. No, it is not my problem. And of course, I don't want to say that you should sort of beat yourself up when you discover that it is your problem, but just acknowledge, because when you know that it is about you, you can take some steps against it to make your life just easier. Yes, to streamline your life. Yeah, because of course I think that there is such a saying that if something is worth doing, it is worth doing well. And I absolutely agree with this. If something is worth doing, it is worth doing well. But doing well, this is maybe 80%, maybe 90%. 90% it is really, really very good. Yeah. And you don't need to demand from yourself always that you will do everything for 120%, because this idea can actually kill you. Yes. And I'm telling you this also from my own experience. Mm, because I am sometimes such a person that when I start something, I just cannot stop. Now, as I said, I am more aware, and this awareness helps me to cope with this. Yeah. So the first point is just you admit, yes, it is me. It is me, and this problem affects my life. Yes, affects many areas of my life. Yeah. Um, the second, uh, the second is very important to understand where it is from, because at the bottom of each of perfectionism is fear. And the question that I would like to encourage you to ask yourself is, what am I afraid of? What am I afraid of? And this is the question that when you answer this, I want you really to take time. I don't want you to rush with it, because when you rush, you will do it in the superficial way. And this is a very deep question. Probably it has layers. So, what are you really afraid of? Are you really afraid of rejection? That if you are not as slim, some men will not like you? Your husband, your partner may find somebody else? Or if you are single, you stand no chances of finding a partner? Or if you don't do things like 120% in your job, your boss will just tell you, sorry, there is 20 candidates for this position and they are far better than you, and you risk losing the job. So I would encourage you maybe to write some areas, important areas of your life, and the particular situations when you are perfectionist, and what is behind. What are you afraid of? Okay. The third thing, because when we want to cure something, um, there's an efficient method and not efficient one. Yeah. So the inefficient method is, to when you have the wound, you put some plaster, yeah, and when you look at your hand or your leg, it looks very good, but still inside this wound is not healed. And this is the same here. You may find some solutions which are temporary, and I don't want to say they will not work temporarily, but if you don't discover the core reasons why, where is this perfectionist from, you will not be able to banish it long term. So the next question that I would ask myself, and the next exercise, in fact, to which I would like to invite you, is the exercise connected with convictions. Convictions are our beliefs, yeah, but convictions, in fact, create our life. They are so deeply rooted in our systems that we believe that this is absolute truth. And of course, if you believe in something that it's true, yeah, it's gonna manifest in your life. For example, think about your convictions, your personal convictions related to your perfectionism. Maybe you have the belief that if you don't have some post-diploma studies and a lot of certificates and a lot of courses finished, you are not good enough, yes, and you cannot find the good job, for example, yes, or um, you have the conviction that men like only particular type of women as far as, for example, appearance is concerned. So you will be forcing yourself to fit into this pattern, because in your reality, this pattern is the only pattern accepted. And I think convictions, on one hand, this is quite simple thing when we want to change them, because there are techniques, there are methods, and we are working on mindset here, and we are able to change these convictions. And what is more, you can change your convictions really like that. You can change them immediately. But what is the problem with convictions? The problem is that when you look at your own head, sometimes or quite often, you don't see them, you don't notice them, because they are sometimes so long with you, yeah, that it's very difficult for us to find these convictions in ourselves. Yeah, of course, maybe you are more familiar to self development and you've been working on yourself for longer time, so I think it will be easier for you in this situation. But okay, just I'm sorry, just let me hello, dzień dobry. Tak, ale nie mogę teraz rozmawiać, mam akurat live'a. Poproszę za 20 minut o telefon, dobrze? Dobra, dobra, dziękuję. Sorry, but I think this telephone would be ringing. So, okay, guys, I'm sorry. Uh, so it wasn't my if I acted as perfectionist, I would never dare to do this. Yeah, but I'm also working on it. So, um, when we think about this perfectionism, yeah, our perfectionism, we must treat ourselves as kind of scientist. Yeah, you must take this magnifying glass, yes, and uh, you must look like, you must look at yourself like on the other person, like on somebody strangers we don't know. So this is the best method to take this observant role, because in this only situation you will be able to recognize at least some of these convictions uh, that are in fact detrimental for you. So remember, first it was like admit that you have a problem, admit that you actually are a perfectionist. The second is think and to discover what are you afraid of. So what is this fear? What is this core fear? The third point is convictions. Yeah. The fourth, of course, is comparing yourself with some other people. Yeah. Well, it can really deprive us of the joy of life. Yeah. And we do this, and we know we shouldn't be doing this, and we are doing this. Why? Especially now in this world of social media, when some beautiful stories are being presented, we see this end result and we think, oh my gosh, I will never be like this person in terms of my business, in terms of look, in terms of something. Yeah. But what I want to tell you, why you should not compare yourself with others. Uh, because other people have their own stories. Other people have their own financial resources, a completely different situation than you. And uh, when we compare ourselves with somebody else, it's just a waste of time, because it never works good for us yet, because we are becoming judgmental. We are diminishing our achievements, and in fact it is we feel even worse. If you want to compare yourself, and this what you can do, and you will have some kind of benchmark, yeah, you can in fact compare yourself to yourself, but from the past, like, I don't know, half a year ago, 1 year ago. And I think now it will be a good time, because we have the end of November, and soon we are going to think about 2021. But I believe personally that December is a good time to make some kind of summaries, and I do them myself, and I also do these with my clients. And I will tell you one thing: in each case, in each case, and it includes me as well. When we look at the past year, and when we write our achievements, what we have done, um, our goals that we reached, just like, oh, wow effect. Really, this is the wow effect, because we in fact forget about a lot, and we take our achievements for granted, especially if we have this tendency to perfectionism. We think like, oh yeah, I kind of managed, yeah. But you forget how much work you have put, how much effort, and that it really costs you time, it costs you some learning, it contributed to your growth. So I think it's very, very important to compare yourself um, to yourself from the past and really appreciate all these what you have done. And the other part of this appreciation is celebration. Yes, so I also tell to my clients, because we keep forgetting about it, like celebrate. Celebrate your achievements, celebrate what you have done, celebrate this place where you are now, because very often we are looking ahead, and this is of course good, and we are thinking, yeah, it's still a lot to do, yes, and it's a never ending story. But look back and appreciate how much you have already done, how long journey you have already made, yes, how many steps you have already taken. So this is important. And I think like when planning your work, point four, mm, when you are a perfectionist, I know that you love doing a lot. Oh my goodness. You are doing during 1 week some things that other people can do 1 month. Yeah, I know that usually you can do much more. Or the opposite can be also that you are doing things extremely well, I mean 120%, but the effect is opposite, that you are not fast, and this work takes you longer than it should, because you are, you are focusing on each tiny micro detail, yeah, which is actually not necessary. So when you plan your work, be realistic, and have some frame, yes, and think about your pattern. What is closer to your heart? Are you a person who is putting a lot, yeah, and your to-do list is never ending, or on the opposite, yeah, that your list also is never ending, but you prolong these things, yeah, you are doing each task much too long, you spend too long time, because you want everything to be absolutely perfect, which is not necessary. And the other point is, yeah, it's obvious, but perfectionists do have some problem with it, and this is taking actions. What's more, this is taking imperfect actions. Taking imperfect actions. Perfectionists love perfect actions. I know. I know, because it is still also my problem, and I have this a voice telling me, you are not ready. It's not good enough. This stems from all these, like, you are not ready. You are not ready. It should be corrected. It should be improved. And these improvements have no end. So instead of waiting for yourself being 1000% ready, instead of waiting for the international situation, global situation, collective energy, instead of waiting for all the planets to be, in the direct movement, just take this imperfect, imperfect steps, yeah. And of course, you will learn some lessons. Let me take some sip. Of course, you are going to you are going to do something well and the other things will not just be done so well. And so what? This is not the end of the world, yeah? Also, what I want to invite you is like, make mistakes. Just make mistakes because um, in this process, in the process of learning, in the process of growth, making mistakes is just obvious, and it is the part of the journey. But perfectionist, if you are a perfectionist, of course, sometimes you avoid making mistakes as hell because you believe that, okay, I'm not good enough, it's my failure. You are making a mountain out of the molehill. No, don't do this. Don't do this. Just have some goal, have some target, take imperfect actions, make mistakes on the way, fall, then get up, yes, learn your lesson, yes, make some summary, take some conclusions, learn your lesson, and go further. Because I think this journey that we should take, yeah. And be realistic because very often, yeah, perfectionists set this bar so high. They are ambitious people. They are, of course, go-getters, and nothing wrong with that. But remember that Rome wasn't built in a day, that some things just take time, and give yourself this time. And what else? I think that, uh, yeah, the last point, enjoy the journey. Enjoy the journey. I think I mentioned this last time, and I think that it is very, very important um, that we are not only focused on this ultimate goal, but we enjoy all the process. Because in this process, during this process, we are actually learning. In this process, we are learning about ourselves. We are growing. We are making this progress, and this is beautiful. This is beautiful because when you compare this time when you are in the process and when you compare this time when you are actually achieving some target, of course, this time in the process is much, much, much longer. And when you learn to be joyful, cheerful, and happy during the process, you can just enjoy your life much more. So I think this is basically this. If you are going to watch the replay, share in the comments if you are perfectionist, if these tips are useful for you, and if you are going to apply some of them. Of course, share in the comments also what are your tips which you've been applying, you've been implementing, and that work for you. And of course, I'm inviting you to my Awesome Authentic Women group on Facebook. And if you need my personal help, if you want to talk where you are, what are your goals, and what is holding you back from achieving them, you can, of course, schedule a 60-minute authenticity session with me. And you should just go to the header of Facebook or of my group, and the link will be on the right. So have an awesome day. And if you are a perfectionist, don't beat yourself up. And remember, if things are worth doing, they are worth doing well, but not necessarily perfect. Bye bye and have a great day. Till next Monday, probably.